Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy 4th of July Eve. Um, be all out looking forward to a really great 4th. I know I was hoping to do like a really big rolling tribute to Independence Day. That would have been great had we been able to pull that off, but unfortunately we weren't. So hopefully maybe for Labor Day we'll be able to put something together to do that with everybody. I think that's far enough away where we could kind of notify everybody about it. I know that Constitutional Coalition of New York, Nancy Orticelli, her group is doing, they do a little roll around every year. So I'm not sure exactly where they pick up. I'm going to find out from Nancy today. I'm going to reach out to her, find out where they gather and then where they drive and then where they end. But I think it's about 100 to 150 cars that they have typically. They join up with another group. I can't remember which group it is exactly, but you know. Not sure what you guys are doing for 4th of July, but hopefully you guys are all going to have great celebration. A few things that I wanted to mention today to everybody was there's a woman, Teresa Riley, and somebody else also shared this woman with me. Her name is Pamela Popper. If you get a chance, look her up. I shared her video on my page. Now, Citizens Are in Charge, I think, is the name of her group. And what she's doing is something similar to what the Tea Party did. And I can't remember the gentleman's name that did what he did, but for a long time, he had every House of Representative, U.S. House of Representative, and every senator, U.S. senator that ran for office, well, took office. He had them sign something that said no new taxes. You can't have any new taxes. And if you do have new taxes, we're going to vote you out. And, you know, the whole Tea Party movement before Obama crushed it, you know, with the investigations that they did. So what this woman is doing is she's kind of using that same type of approach. And what she's doing is making every politician admit to what they're doing. You know, will they say no to forced vaccinations or will they say yes to forced vaccinations? And whatever they say, if they say yes, then great, we support them. And if they say no, then we'll vote them out of office. Or if they don't respond, then that no response is equivalent to a no. And then those people will get voted out of office. So Pamela Popper, I shared it yesterday. I'm going to share it again today. It's about a 15-minute video. Watch it. See what her approach is and what she's going to do. It mirrors what a lot of us are talking about. It's almost identical to what it is that I've been trying to do. And she needs a lot of members involved locally in each area, so that, you know, we can start to hold, so that we can present each one of these politicians out there with this document and then just have them respond very simply. She wants to keep it simple. She doesn't want to make it any bigger than that because she feels like this is how we have to get the movement started with everybody across the country, which you've heard me talk about on a number of occasions. In order for us to be able to accomplish anything, we have to bring everybody together. Not only do we have to bring everybody together who thinks like us, but we have to keep everybody together. We have to be there supporting one another. We have to be there showing up for rallies when there are rallies. You know, we have to make sure that we're working behind the scenes together in a collected way, in a very organized and structured and focused way, so that we're actually being effective together. And there's so many great minds that I have met. There's so many wonderful people. There's so many strong and brilliant people that I have been able to meet in this past 4 months through this process, through Restore Constitutional Freedom to New York, through you know, with Rita Palma and all the people that she knows and all the fight that she's been having, you know, the religious leaders that I have met, the people that have been fighting forced vaccinations. I have met so many wonderful people that have been fighting so hard for so long. Bringing all of us together in this focused way to attack these politicians who are being paid by Big Farm to pass legislation that directly affects and impacts us and our children in a negative way, where they're going to be forced to receive these vaccinations, is what Pamela Popper is trying to fight. And I think she has a great plan. Now, I haven't researched Citizens in Charge. I haven't researched Pamela Popper yet. So if anybody can do that for me out there, that would be amazing. I want to make sure her organization is legit. I want to make sure she's legit before I'm all in on this and before I start advocating for it. Love the premise, love the idea. Very basic, what she's trying to do. She said that on Monday, I believe it is, or Tuesday. If you go and watch her video, I'm going to post it again after I put this live on, or after this live. But if you go and watch her video from yesterday, she goes through and details everything, how they're going to do it, and why they're going to do what they're going to do, and why the approach, why they're taking the approach that they're taking. And she's going to give information as to how we can all join. So what I found most effective is when a handful of people, small groups of people, can get together. Groups of people like 6, 7, 8 people that can get together with your group chats, and you guys can talk about things, and you can keep the focus very narrow. Things aren't diluted then. This way you can stay focused and you can manage everything that's there to take care of. So think about that. And if you want to join a group, I've got several groups that we're working with right now. I could try to get you involved in one of those that'll be a good fit for you, with personality-wise. That has happened quite a bit with a lot of the people that I've met. And Melissa, one of the friends that I have, she just joined our group. She needed some support. And everybody is constantly supporting one another in ways like this. I was arrested a week ago at Wine Cellar in Cheektowaga, George Urban Union. Completely illegal. My attorney's very good, Jason DePasquale. Walked through everything with him. He said, yeah, Pete, what I was arrested for was 3rd-degree criminal trespass. Now, what that means is that I would have had to stay on the premises, being belligerent, wrecking stuff, and refusing to leave. And that never happened. None of that ever happened, but that's what I was charged with. So it's a wrongful arrest at the very least. And then the individuals there, it'll all be on camera. I was civil, I was polite, nothing happened. Been in there several times before, no mask. Manager even said that they had to serve me before that. Walked in, they said, hey, if you're not wearing a mask, we can't sell you any liquor. And never asked me to leave. As a matter of fact, one of the individuals and the manager started talking to me, and they said, hey, we get it, we understand. I communicated to them on several times that there was an issue, medical issue, as to why I can't wear the mask inside their store, and they didn't care. They said that I needed to come up front, which I did. I cooperated, came up front, and that they would sell me the wine. They proceeded to go get me a bottle of wine, and then an officer walked in. Officer asked me to walk outside with him, never requested to ask me to go outside with him. Nobody in the store ever asked me to go outside with them. So I shared this story online last week, over the week on Sunday or whatever, and now everybody in our groups are aware of it. And everybody has reached out to help me. I'm not going to give the names because I'm trying to keep everybody anonymous, but a lot of people have reached out to help me. And, we're talking about a GoFundMe page for my legal expenses on this, to exposing the Cheektowaga Police Department, to exposing the state policy and exactly what it means and what business owners are allowed to and what they're not allowed to do, including boycotting the wine cellar, including going after the wine cellar legally. So the support that I have received from everybody, guys, thank you so much. It has been amazing. This officer, Jay Wanat, wrongful arrest. There's no doubt about it. I asked him if we had any business. I asked if I was being detained several times. He said no. When I went outside, I was going to walk to my vehicle and leave. And he said, at that point, no, you're not going to leave. You're going to be arrested. So it wasn't until after I left the place that he finally said, oh, I'm going to be arrested. And here's the reason, criminal trespass. So that's the way that all went down. That's the way that works. The vehicle, as far as the vehicle goes, without a doubt, illegal what they did. They stole my vehicle. The vehicle was not involved in the alleged crime, which does not allow the officers access to that vehicle. Additionally, there was a bag. There was a duffel bag inside my vehicle. That duffel bag was zipped up. The contents were secure. The officer went through that. He opened up 2 different compartments and have the photos of that. So again, criminally, he conducted himself criminally and illegally. Went into the vehicle, went into my bag, went through the contents of my entire vehicle, looking for another reason to have, for another charge to have, whatever it was going to be. And that would have been dismissed and thrown out of court immediately. But the guy was looking to just pile on. That's what officers try to do. That's what bad officers try to do. That's what bad departments tell their officers to do. So then my vehicle was stolen from me. It was taken and put into a facility where I had to then go pay $300 to get that out. That's what happened. That vehicle should have never been secured. It's called civil asset forfeiture. And that vehicle was never a part of the crime. So my attorney, familiar with all of it, now I've been told to get Paul Cambria on this, also Jim Ostrowski. I've been told to ask him and his firm as well. Now, Jason DePasquale has represented me extremely well, extremely intelligent, extremely competent. He's a constitutional lawyer. He's also a constitutionalist. He's with us. However, he has to protect himself. So I don't know where I'm going to go. There are some people behind the scenes, very big names, guys, names that all of you would recognize, that are there supporting me with this, that are there. They're going to help me, financially, and then somebody else is setting up a GoFundMe page. All of that is amazing. I need to communicate, just like I need to get all the facts when I start to support something, and when I push that out to you guys to say, hey guys, you take a look at this. You figure out if this is true or not. You figure out if this is something you want to get behind and if this is what you want to support. That's exactly how the people that are looking to support me need. They want to get all the information. They want to make sure that all the ducks are lined up in a row, that I wasn't being belligerent or attacking anybody. And then we're going full force on this. I don't mind being arrested and having my neck out on the line at this point, because if this corrects and addresses this illegal order, this illegal mandate, then that's great. If this means we can make an example of the wine cellar and of every other small business that is out there discriminating against, enacting bigoted policies that go against people who have medical conditions, then great. The order itself says that you cannot mandate anyone to wear the masks. You can strongly recommend. And for medical reasons, for medical purposes, people cannot be forced to wear the mask. That's Cuomo's own mandate. But you have these business owners who are these leftists that are out there saying, whoa, it says we can force them. No, never said that. Even Cuomo never said that. And Cuomo's smart because he always protects himself. Why do you think he didn't pass a law saying that you have to wear masks? He didn't pass a law because he knows he couldn't do it. He knows it was going to be one more thing that everybody was going to come after him for. So what does he do? He pushes it on the business owners. That removes liability. That removes his ownership of the policy. Pretty savvy move. You gotta give it to the guy for how criminal he is. He's got a lot of practice. Committing the frauds and the criminal activities that he's done over to us, and all the money that he's stolen from us over the course of the years. So you got to give him that. But anyways, so that's what's happening with my criminal case. And over the weekend, I'll be talking to some more people. Like I said, I'm going to get out to roll with the people in the Constitutional Coalition. We also have a protest. I'm not sure how big it's going to be. It's at the corner of Main and Transit in Clarence tomorrow at noon. So I just became aware of this. If anybody wants to join us, make signs. It's about reopening New York. It's about, no more mandatory vaccinations and stopping that. So if you want to make signs, but also wear your patriotic gear, wear your hats and, bring American flags out with you. We just ask that, obviously I am all about freedom of speech. I know what the rebel flag stands for. I know what it stands for, but we ask just that if you do come out, just leave that, to the side. What we're trying to do is just, for patriotism, that's what we're all about. So if you want to bring your Trump flags or anything like that, great, bring it. If you want to bring your Confederate flag and have it in your vehicle and do that, or put it on outside the vehicle, awesome. Do that all day long. You know what I mean? That's great. That's our right to freedom of speech to do that. But the protest itself is about finalizing, reopening New York, but also, guys, the churches. I don't know if you've seen my posts on this or not, but Taylor made us aware, and then Jen Jakubowski, she made us aware also, and some other people, about what the churches are being forced to do in order to allow people in. It's only 25 people that they're allowed to have in to their churches at this point. Home Depot, Lowe's, Tops, everybody else for months can have hundreds of people inside their stores, but now churches, and what they're saying is because of the singing. Oh my God, really? Stop. The singing is going to threaten everybody. Oh, okay, so the gym? Wait, well, with the gym, what? Because people are sweating and everything? Stop! Come on. Give me a break. People aren't sweating or talking and doing everything that they're doing inside these facilities. And getting back to the masks, guys. When there was the peak and the spike of all this stuff in all these states, nobody was wearing masks. Now all of a sudden everybody's got to wear a mask. The second spike was already here. That's proven. You see it in the charts. The faulty testing kits, we see that. The reports, we see what the medical professionals are told to report as a COVID case. This is why we have these spikes. They don't want us to be at peace. The leftists, the Democrats, not all the Democrats, guys, because there's a lot of Democrats that don't want this to happen either. But they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. Just like us, we're like, where do we go? Who do we work with? What do we do to support this? And I've tried to communicate that to everybody so that we could combat and fight this and get this back. But a lot of people don't know what to do, especially Democrats and liberals, because they're like, this sucks. This is bullshit. I don't want to be a part of this. I never subscribed to this. This is completely radical. But they don't know where to go. So imagine if you're a conservative or you're a Republican or you're a libertarian and you've got your groups of people that you can lean on and we all think together. Just imagine if you're a Democrat or a liberal and all the people that you normally talk to are crazy, batshit crazy about this and about everything in general. Who do you turn to if you're a balanced Democrat or liberal? You don't even know where to go. So if you do know anybody like that is balanced, invite them, and say, hey, this is, what we've been doing, you should try that with your circles, and, and that you found help in it, that you found respite in it, that, it feels good to feel like you're actually doing something and moving the needle forward. So, with the masks, the science isn't there. So I wanted to share this with everybody. I was working yesterday and I have a respirator, and I bought the respirator because I'll work with asbestos sometimes. So I put the mask on. The mask it's got a seal, a real rubber seal that goes around. It has 2 cartridges on it, and it's got straps on it. So now if you wear any cloth mask, you wear an N95 mask, you wear a shirt, people are putting you in harm's way. Now, all you need to do to take a look at this are the decades and decades and decades of positions from every medical professional including today across most of the world, where people aren't wearing masks at all, and they're safe. There is not this huge spike of COVID, or any virus for that matter. But for decades, even up until March and April, but June, Jerome Adams came out, and then they made him change his tune. But he came out in like May and said, yeah, these masks are bullshit, don't wear them. Literally on camera saying that, then changed his tune. Any of those masks that you buy at any store that you wear, they are not protecting you from viruses. As a matter of fact, they are more dangerous to you in contracting a virus than not wearing a mask. And why is that? Just like the mask manufacturer said, just like CDC reports, OSHA reported, WHO, all of these leading agencies that everybody is using as their expert authorities for years said healthy people should not wear masks because it deprives you of oxygen. The mask itself will have every droplet in your body inside it that you keep breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. If you wear that mask on a hot day, in 5 minutes time, condensation is being built up on it. It's not sealing. There's no seal. You're pinching your nose like this with a piece of metal. None of it's sealed. I see the gaps underneath all the masks, right where your mouth is. So whatever you think isn't getting in or whatever you think isn't getting out is getting in and out. It's absolutely absurd. It's literally thinking like a chain link fence is going to stop water. That's exactly what it is. And the mask manufacturers even say the cloth itself it will allow viruses in. It will allow particulates in. Paint particulates, asbestos particulates. That's why you're supposed to wear a respirator when you work with asbestos, because every other one of those, and the asbestos particulates, the particles are way bigger than a virus particle, way bigger than a virus particle. And you can't wear an N95 mask or any one of these other masks or a cloth mask to prevent asbestos from getting in. You have to wear the respirator. You have to. So if you're wearing a piece of cloth, forget it. It isn't doing anything. If you're wearing anything at all other than not even the respirator that I wore, will prevent viruses. It says it. It will not. You have to have a fully sealed respirator with brand new cartridges on it, because the cartridges, what are the cartridges? They're filters. So as those filters get clogged and dirty, you have to replace those. And the recommended replacement on those things, I believe, are after just only a handful of hours of use. And then you're supposed to swap those out and change them. Otherwise, you're breathing all that contaminated air, all of it. So yesterday I'm working, and I had my respirator on, and within 5 minutes, the condensation had all built up inside. Soaked. It was soaked. Dripping out the bottom after 5 minutes of use of this. And the reason I started using it was because I was dealing with asbestos, as I said earlier. So what is that doing? Anything that's outside is coming in. But not only is it coming in, but it's attracted to the moisture now. So it's going to more easily get into my space right in my mouth, where all the air now without a mask, and this is science, guys. Every epidemiologist, viral scientist, medical professional, CDC, WHO says this. So now you have all this moist air there. Guess what's attracted to moist air? Yeah, viruses. So that also, I wore it, and after about 45 minutes or so, you can feel the oxygen depletion, from wearing it, as you do all the time, and your vision gets a little bit hazy, and your mind starts to get a little bit fuzzy and foggy. Well, fuzzier and foggier for me, but that's what happens. And so when people are wearing masks all day long, or think that, okay, so why do people wear masks? They get a false sense of security. It's just like carrying around your blanket when you're a kid, right? You think that that's going to keep you safe from all the monsters. That's what the masks are. Why is it a false sense of security? Because you've had all these politicians, you've had all these government officials media, everybody telling you, bombarding you, gotta wear it, protect your neighbor, protect this. 33,000 people, WKBW, you're gonna protect 33,000 people from dying. Lies. All lies. All bullshit. All propaganda. All of it. The only person you're not saving anybody by wearing a mask. Even yourself. The only way you're saving yourself is if you wear the proper respirator with the Tyvek suit and dispose of that. That is the only way you're protecting yourself. That's it. Anything short of that, and you're actually harming yourself. And here's the reason you're harming yourself. You're grabbing that mask constantly. What are your fingers touching? Well, I wiped them off at the opening of the store. Oh, well, great. So you don't think viruses got back on your hands and dirty after you did that? No, they're on it. Now you're constantly touching the mask. You constantly have your fingers up by your face with everything that you've touched. Now you have a moist environment where everything can then get inside. Now the mask is contaminated. Now how many of the people that you know use the same piece of cloth? Reusable masks, washable masks. That's never supposed to be a thing. Reusable and washable masks are not going to be a thing. You really think that the hot water the hot water in your washing machine and then the regular soap that you're going to use are going to decontaminate that? It's not. Now this virus isn't that strong, but other viruses are. This virus dies at, I think, 82 when it's sunshine, I think, hours, it dies. So you can't reuse a mask. You are putting yourself in harm's way. Reusable masks are not a thing. The mask manufacturers, the mask professionals will tell you, do not reuse this mask. Right on the box. Right on the box. Right around the area where it says will not protect you from viruses. Or asbestos. Or lead. Or paint. So they're putting people in harm's way because they're giving them this false sense of security that blanket gives kids. You know, people in their minds are so convinced that COVID is everywhere around them. They put this mask on, that's a shield. That was programming. That was indoctrination. That was brainwashing. That is brainwashing. It's been a hard campaign that these people are putting on with no science to back it. None. Other countries prove it, and all the other agencies that I told you, OSHA, their research. All of that research is not just null and void. The human body hasn't changed. Viruses haven't changed. Everybody's like, well, that's old data. It's not old data. It's not old science. It's science that has been in place for decades. It's the mask manufacturer's recommendations after decades of research. COVID didn't change the game. COVID is an extremely weak virus. Now, if a very, very strong virus comes out that is extremely contagious, that's a different story. Completely different story. Has that happened? Nope, hasn't happened. In hundreds of years, it hasn't happened. Will somebody genetically engineer one that could possibly be extremely deadly? Yeah. I'm not saying that can't happen. You know, is nature going to create one? Epidemiologists and viral scientists and millennia kind of say that's not going to be the case. So, you know, and then, the best thing that I saw yesterday with the masks are somebody grabbed their mask off their face, stuffed it in their pocket, and you know they're going to just reuse that over and over and over again. Now it's funny, right? But it's not. And it's not funny because people are being forced to wear masks or think that they're being forced to wear masks, and they're thinking that it's protecting them. So they're using it over and over and over again, and they're putting themselves in harm's way by our government now. By the same agencies that said that, I know, Diane. The same agencies that said don't wear the mask, don't wear the healthy mask, now they're saying wear it. They're the ones that are putting people in harm's way, directly in harm's way. Because they're using dirty masks over and over again. And that's the thing. That's the hilarious thing. This is how hypocritical it is. This is how not for your protection this is. Because everybody's like, just wear something, put your arm over your face or put, wear a t-shirt or a cloth mask or whatever. You're not protecting anybody or anything. So by saying they just wear any mask, it proves how illegitimate what these people are saying is about the masks. We'll just wear something, anything. So that's that on that. I wanted to talk about Pamela Popper. I'm going to put her video up on YouTube. Watch on Monday or Tuesday for her. Subscribe to her page. I got to check it out. Citizens in Charge is the name of her group that she's putting together, what she's putting together to battle this whole thing. She's against the lockdowns, completely against the lockdowns. She's against the tyranny and the fascism. All the people that we know that support this, they're like, well, it was for our safety, and this is what government agencies are supposed to do. Don't police officers protect you? Doesn't the military protect you? No. Yes, they do. But this is government overreach. This was never intended to be this way. And the reason it happened is because government is too big. They got too big. We know how big government is. What employs like 50% of the people here in Erie County. That's how big government is. So you've got your private businesses and 50% of all employees. That's why they're able to perpetrate what they're able to perpetrate on us. That's why they're able to weaponize government agencies against us. In every way, we're going to find, and churches and individuals, we're going to arrest you, we're going to fine you, we're going to fine you into oblivion, and then, we're going to tie you up in court, your business is going to get shut down. And we're all scared. And the reason we're scared is because people don't come together. And I can tell you this, people came together for me with my issue on Friday. And I never ask anybody to do that, guys. I never do. But guess what? People came out of the woodwork to support me. We need to come out together to support one another with these other things, with our businesses, never shutting down ever again for any reason. You could have hundreds of people inside major corporations the entire time, but a small business who would have had a couple of people or a dozen people in there at any given time, they were forced to shut down. They're using lies to intimidate and put fear into people. And when we're isolated and alone, we feel isolated, alone, and scared and helpless. When we come together, there's strength in numbers, guys. And I've seen it. And I've seen the people on my page that have been empowered and strengthened by coming together. Support your friends, support your family, support those business owners that are out there battling this, but they're putting their neck on the line. Support the people that are fighting this. Go to the rally, go to the protests, do what you have to do to get out there, to feel like you're not alone. It's Independence Day, and I think a lot of people feel like there's independence, we're getting some of that back, but it's just an illusion at this point, guys. It really is. What, Cuomo shut down the restaurants in New York City again? Or you shut down all indoor seating? This is how it started the first time. There's very little independence right now, guys. You have 26,000 parents that are in New York State that were forced to take their kids out of school. That's discrimination. They were forced to because of not getting a vaccination. That is flat out discrimination. That's not freedom. Now, are they better off being educated at home? Probably, because the educational system in New York in a matter of years under Cuomo, abomination, a joke. Not in every district. There's a lot of districts that are out there that are doing a really great job, but there's a lot of them that are failing miserably. So, we had our lockdown. Some of our parents, we still can't even see our parents. Going into elderly care facilities. Forget about that and seeing them. Going to a funeral, going to a church. Can't do some of those things. 25 people, you got to be on video. Well, that was the thing that I wanted to talk about. So with Taylor and Jen, they were bringing up videotaping if you go to church, registering your name if you go to church. Only 25 people was another thing. And there were a couple of others. I can't remember what they are. But religious freedom, guys, it's in the First Amendment. You can't infringe upon that. You can't. And the different churches around the country, they proved it by staying open. But so many people are scared. So not only do you have the pastors and priests and the ministers that are afraid to open things up because they're being told that if they open up, it's the worst thing that they could do and people are going to die. And then you have your parishioners that are like, you can't open up. So then they don't open up. And then the people that need church and want the church to open, their voices aren't heard. And then if the church does open or a business opens, like my buddy's business opened up the other day, Buffalo Sports Garden. He was reported to the health department twice for exceeding the allowable limits. So that's what these people do. They report people. The people want to go back to work. They want to go back to business, but everybody's telling politicians, Cuomo, you see something, say something, bust these people, report your neighbor, do this, do that. That's Nazi Germany. That's Gestapo. That's what that is. That's brown coat, reporting your neighbor. So my buddy's bar opened up, and he was reported twice. So somebody who decided to go out to the restaurant to eat reported him to the health department twice, and the health department showed up 2 different times. And he didn't violate anything. He complied with everything. Everything he complied with. I know the owner of the Buffalo Sports Garden. I know both of them. And they aren't going to do anything. Even though they wanted to stay open, they aren't going to do anything that's going to put them in jeopardy. So I know for a fact that he didn't do it. But you have these people that are going to report people. So when a church opens, guess what? These parishioners that come in that are mental, they report the church to the health department. Then the health department comes in, weaponized. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the way it works. Church is off the page. You can't touch them. It's the way it is. Just like speech. Just like your Second Amendment right. That stuff is off the table. So it doesn't feel very independent, but I hope you guys have a great Independence Day. Have a great 4th of July. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your friends. It's going to be nice to kind of take a break and be able to enjoy one another. Like I said, we're going to be doing protests tomorrow, Main and Transit and Clarence at noon. If you want to show up, that'd be awesome to see you. Also, Nancy Orticelli with Constitutional Coalition of New York doing a rolling tribute around town. So if you want to join that, I'm going to put that information on the page as well. So enjoy your day, guys. Love you guys, and happy 4th of July Eve.